All right, so we did in this particular research.
Now, what did your spiritual assessment tell you in reference to the study that you did not know earlier as a psychiatrist and primarily as a Christian psychiatrist? I mean, what did it tell you? Or did the possibility of you being a Christian psychiatrist add any additional information to that to you?
Yes, it did, because one, we did a spiritual survey on each of the 25 inmates, and that was done by a minister, an ordained minister. What we found is that in 92% of the inmates that we assessed, they came out of family situations in which there was clearly a lack of spiritual nurture and guidance on the part of the parents, and especially on the part of the fathers, who in 6 to 8% of these cases was outside of the home, was absent from the home.
And so there's a very, very close relationship. What you're saying is that young people who become eventually involved in violence, that there are more of those who never had that Christian, well, that the spiritual experience that you're talking about. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that if you look at the spiritual background or the religious background of persons who have a history of repetitive, antisocial, or criminal behavior, what you'll often find is that they've grown up in a family situation in which one or both parents were very self-centered. Self-centered means that they were focused on their own needs, focused on gratifying their own desires, and therefore did not offer the kind of spiritual role model or the kind of spiritual instruction that a child needs in order to develop a good sense of who he is and a good sense of who God is and what God expects and requires.
And those young people who were not exposed to that kind of influence came out on the short end of things. Would that be an
Yes, as a matter of fact, the men that we evaluated, all of them tested as having low or very low self-esteem. 70% of them responded to the question, how do you handle it when somebody mistreats you or takes advantage of you? 70% of the men we evaluated said, I believe in trying to get even or trying to get
78%.
78%, yes. Also, we found in our study that almost all of these men, about 92%, suffered from a significant degree of self-hate. And so these phenomena are normally viewed as psychological, but I'm convinced that low self-esteem or very low self-esteem and self-hate are spiritual phenomena, okay, that we see very often in situations, family situations, of spiritual neglect, and where a person neglects utilizing or drawing upon their spiritual resources, one of which is faith in God and regular prayer.
And if more people understood this, is that what we're saying, that perhaps we would be able to deal with some of the real crucial problems that we have dealing with violence in our society? Is that what we're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that self-esteem is a spiritual phenomenon. Low or very low self-esteem are also spiritual phenomena. Our study of these 25 inmates revealed, based on the Tennessee Self-Concept Profile, that 92% of these men had either low or very low self-esteem. So we're saying that spiritual neglect was at the basis of this low or very low self-esteem. And we're saying that if we are to correct that kind of a problem, then we need to recognize the true nature of self-esteem, and we need to develop the kind of therapeutic interventions, okay, or the kind of spirituality-based prevention that will help people develop positive self-esteem, or if they develop low self-esteem, then to help them to overcome it.
And of course, recognizing immediately that these individuals probably grew up in what you call a self-centered environment around themselves. These are the individuals with this self-centered ego kind of thing that will be responsible for determining the young people that they have charge of. And of course, if they are no better, then being self-centered, the young people could not be exposed to anything. Well, how do you get young people into such activities that would sort of break that tie that they have with those self-centered individuals and open them up to a wider view of things as you're talking about?
Well, I think there have been some studies that have shown that adolescents who attend church on a regular basis have a lower prevalence rate of drug abuse and antisocial behavior.
Very good.
Okay? So we know for a fact that...
Let me interrupt here, Dr. Poe, for this first commercial break, and we'll be back with you following this short commercial break.